Hi, what's up, folks? Today is Saturday, July 19th. I'm trying to be quiet because it's still like 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh, almost 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, I haven't made a video since Wednesday. So I figured I'd do a video for the last few days. What have I been up to? So, obviously Wednesday, that morning was my first video to the military base, but I'm not trying to film getting in there and all that stuff. So, yeah, I make sure to turn that off before I get there, because it's a government place. Obviously, it's a military base. So, plus it takes, it's the same distance, same time as getting to fucking Sumner. So my shift starts a little later and thankfully ends later, but it pays better still than ABM. So it's only 8 hours. It's 7.5 that I work, and then it's with the lunch 8 hours. But we obviously don't get paid the lunch, so I'm only getting paid like 37, 38 hours. And then eventually I'll gradually move up to like 40 hours. Damn, that mailman is hauling ass. He fucking flying down the road. Like, calm down, buddy. That motherfucker was flying, bro. So, but yeah, well, what was it like? Like any other hospital, it was pretty much just showing rooms and stuff like that, the janitorial rooms. It was a little weird going into a room where obviously, like every hospital, they have to store body parts that, that have cancer, umbilical cords, ovaries, shit like that. So, it's no secret for that, but it's a hospital. What do you expect? So it was definitely new to me. I was definitely like, okay, but I'm going to stick it out. I have to, so I'm just going to roll with it. What's nice is we don't have to work by ourselves. We're always working in teams with people. I'm sure that, I'll get around to things, and, got to meet some nice people there, and, the new people too, they're like, oh yeah, we used to work here. Two of them used to work here. I guess one was a nurse for 30 years. She's a super sweet lady, super nice lady. And then another one, two of them also worked there, janitorial too, I guess, but they left and then they came back, which, I don't know, must have been recent or something, or must have been a while. And then the rest of them, like me, were new, and they were pretty anxious too. They were just like, oh, we never done a cleaning job before. And another one was like, oh, I just needed a job. I just need the money. And I was just like, pretty much, I'm just hoping to get into a hospital system and then be able to jump into hospital work. Not exactly a nurse or a doctor, but something, a supervisor. Obviously that's a long way to go, but something that I can make a retirement and a living off, because I don't want to be stuck cleaning forever, but I'll be willing to do it as long as I can, unless I find something better paying that is offered to me that's close by to the house with all the good benefits and retirement and all that stuff. So, and good pay, good hours, good days, then I'll consider it. Manageable work. I don't want to say easy, but, because work is never easy, but manageable, So, when I left, I'm going to get these changed out on my car. My fucking dumbass, man. I should have waited for my car to cool before I decided to drive, so I was messing with my fucking AC, and I figured my car would keep it steady on the road, and I accidentally grinded on a curve a little bit by accident, but thankfully it's the rim and not the wheel. And then I noticed this one is also slightly chipped, which that's no big deal. So when I get an oil change, I'm gonna ask them if I can get that rim replaced, because it's an eyesore. You know, it's a nice car. I want the car to look nice. I don't want it to, you know, because if it was just a regular SUV or a simple old Mustang from 2005, then maybe, but still being a new generation Mustang, it's just like I kind of want to be on top of that, you know. I want it to look nice, because, you know, that car is fit to go to car shows, and it's just like, you know, what do you want to see, a fucking scratched up rim at a car show? But better that than the actual car body, honestly. So when I get an oil change, I'm actually going to get asked to get that replaced, or the, you know, because rims can't be that expensive to change. Probably like $50, $100 or something for a set of rims or something. But it's just that one wheel, you know. The other one, yeah, it's two, but it's not really. It's common that people fuck that shit up. You know, I look at everyone else's cars, but it's just like, mine's a nice car. It needs to be treated at the utmost. Boo-boo, get the fucking Band-Aid. It's bleeding. Anyway, yeah, so that was Wednesday. Pretty much it was just, it was a trip. But it's going to definitely be different. It's going to be a bit to get used to, but at least I'm not doing it for 10-hour days anymore. I somewhat get to sleep in a little bit, and I get to go home a little early, which is nice, you know. I thought about the holidays, and I was just like, you know, I can still technically, I'm home if I work holidays early, so I might as well just suck it up and work the holidays. You know, I might as well. So, but here's hoping that sometimes I can get the holidays off, you know, considering it being a Friday this year, that Christmas and Halloween, you know, so I don't, you know, and Thanksgiving's always a Thursday, but, you know, it's just Thanksgiving dinner, so it's just us in the house, so I don't really mind working Thanksgiving. Plus, it's double pay, which is pretty cool. Double pay on holidays, which is nice. Nice. And then in certain rooms, like the ER and a few other different kinds of rooms, birth and labor and all that stuff, I guess it actually costs more. Like they pay more to be in those rooms. So I'm still a little iffy about that, but, you know, I told them it's just something to slowly kind of make my way on, because, you know, like, I've never worked in that kind of environment. Because they were like, oh, yeah, we'll sign. And I was like, is it optional to work in those rooms, or do you have to work in those rooms and switch off? They're like, oh, we work with people that want something comfortable if it's too much for them, but we'll put you guys in a 2-week training to get used to these rooms, and if it doesn't work for you, then, you know, we'll keep you in other rooms and areas. And I was just like, oh, okay, because I'm not saying that I'm uncomfortable, it's just I've never worked in an emergency room, and I don't know what that shit's like. And, you know, I don't even know if they got a morgue there, but again, I'm not going to go too deep into that. But it's a hospital. Again, you know, shit happens at a hospital. They're very understanding about life outside of work, unlike ABM, which is really nice, you know. I mean, they were cool with me because I never really called out, so they would understand if I had stuff going on. But like Selena, she just didn't care to come in anymore, and Dom, you know, Dom, that poor guy, he doesn't have a car, and he lives in Federal Way and all that stuff. So she would always attack him for things that weren't really his fault. So stuff like that, you know, but I get it if it goes on for too long, but that's not really in anyone's control. So it's hard. It's really hard, you know, so the hospital would understand if there are issues like that. But anyway, yeah, you know, so I start on Monday, and I need to make sure to not be late, which is why I'm kind of glad I started at 7:30. So then I can just, you know, actually get there on time, a little early, if anything. And, you know, because like at ABM, I'm gonna be real. I was late all the fucking time, but they didn't care. They were just like, as long as I'm there, you know. I mean, like, they cared. They cared. They didn't want me there at like 7:15 or 7:20, but I would get there like 7:05. I wouldn't clock in until like 7:04, 7:05, 7:08, 7:09, 7:07, you know, 7:07. And it got on my fucking nerves. I was just like, bro, but, you know, because I had to leave at 7, you know. So I didn't, you know, it can be kind of hard having to wake up and having to fight my way to get ready and all that in the span of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know. So with this, it gives me a bit of a breather, an extra half an hour, because I know that I'll make it at 7, 7:10, 7:20. I should not have an excuse to make it late unless I really don't care anymore. But I have to care. So it's just because like at round 1, I stopped caring. So I was late all the fucking time. 7, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I was late all the time, and I didn't care until I got written up. And I was just like, well, I didn't think you guys cared, you know. Hi, Jack. Hi, buddy. Hi, bud. What's up, Jack? So anyway, yeah, Thursday and Friday was the weekend part 1. I'm in the final 2 days. Just got today, tomorrow, and then Monday I start. I have uniforms. I'll make a video on that later, to show what I look like. I'm kind of funny about uniforms. I know they're trying to represent themselves, but it's just like, I thought it was just going to be casual scrub, so I was like, man, I'm going to look like everyone else, but I don't want to look like a nurse or a doctor, because then I'm fucked. So, yeah, we have our own shirts, and it'll just be like round 1, where I'll just throw the shirt over a regular shirt. I am going to change the clothes. I am going to fucking throw them in the laundry. You know, 3 shirts, you have to span them in 5 days, because I do not want to fucking get sick, and I don't want to take anything home with me. So, yeah, anything with my shirt, I'm going to have to wash them somehow, some way, regularly. A shirt every day somehow, or shirt every couple of days. I don't know, but I need to be careful, clearly, because they don't fuck around there. It's a hospital, you know, there are sick people there. So that's the worst that you have to really be careful of and get around, because then we get sick. But they'll help me get around to that, so. But, you know, worst of the worst is, it becomes too much, and I have to find something with better pay. So, just saying, very, very, very last resort. Not what's going to happen on the first day, and then, oh my God, fuck this job, I quit already. No, I can't be doing that. So, yeah. But anyway, Thursday, I don't know. I beat Uncharted 4, so I finally beat all 4 of the Nathan Drake games of Uncharted on my PlayStation 5. And now I'm on the Lost Legacy, which is the 5th and final. I played a bit of that. It's not the same without Nathan Drake. It's not the same. It's kind of sad, you know. It's sad, but it's good, because every story has to have an end, right? So, yeah, it's kind of sad without Nathan Drake, man. You know, yeah, I started playing it, and I'm Chloe, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm Chloe, but it's still depressing without Nathan Drake. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, it has to end at some point, you know. You know, the 3rd game, he lost the ring, and he was like, that's it, I'm done. I finished up all my Francis Drake crap. And then his brother comes in on the 4th game, and yeah, he realizes that the obsession's not really it anymore. It's just gotta stop. So Victor and Sam, spoiler alert, they start teaming up with each other, which would have been cool if they made a game about them, but, you know, Chloe's been out. So I'm hoping I could see Charlie Cutter again, and maybe Victor and Sam in the game of the Lost Legacy. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, but I'm talking about video games that I've been trying to grind and play on. You know, I played them all on hard difficulty, the hardest I could. And then there's the most brutal, but I ain't ready for that because I barely played the games only one time, but I was willing to play on hard so I can get the best, at least something for the achievements, you know. But yeah, I'm on hard difficulty on all these games now. Everything I play on hard. I play hard difficulty. All the Black Ops games I play on veteran, or I mean Call of Duty, all the Battlefield or whatever, you know, Spider-Man, I'm playing all that on hard or amazing, you know, friendly, amazing, some shit like that, the hardest I can. Or at least the hardest below the hardest. Hard below the hardest, I guess. Shit like that. But yeah, I just been playing games these last couple days. I haven't been on my PC in a few weeks, a month. My Xbox, I tried to get on that earlier in the weekend, or my weekend, and I couldn't do it. I don't find any fun in any of the games that I have on there now, which is sad. You know, I still got to beat Call of Duty 2, but that game fucking drives me nuts. Black Ops 3, I haven't even tried that on veteran yet. And Assassin's Creed, I just haven't been caring to play that either. Hotline Miami 1 and 2, you know, I got those on the Xbox. But yeah, everything I have on PlayStation's exclusive or it's not free. So I just been playing a lot of that. But, you know, it can get tiring playing that stuff too. You know? But, yeah, so... yeah, I got to beat the Nathan Drake games. I got the Lost Legacy, but I'm not really too crazy about that one. I mean, it's still good, though. It plays good. Yeah, you know, playing Chloe is the same movement, same type of way that you play Nathan Drake, so it's not a major loss. You still climb cliffs. You still beat the shit out of people. You still find little treasures, you know, so... I don't know. I'll probably continue finding the treasures just down the line if I want to replay Uncharted again. But if I had to pick my least favorite of the four Nathan Drake games, it would definitely be the first. I mean, the first one, gameplay-wise. But again, the story was great. But gameplay-wise, the first game, I did not like it. But still a great game, though. Still a great game for its time. For, you know, for PlayStation 3, it definitely looks amazing. But comparing it to 2, 3, and A Thief's End and Lost Legacy, the first one definitely wasn't that good gameplay-wise. But again, the story was great. The characters were great. It's not a bad game. But I've never played it before, that's my opinion on it. But for people in nostalgia who have played Uncharted, the Drake's Fortune, you know. But I'm going to end it here so I can do part 2. So